The Strait of Hormuz is one of the most vital geographic choke points on the planet. For 4 decades, Iran has built its naval strategy around a specific goal. If a conflict begins, they block the strait. They don't do this with a traditional blue water navy. They rely on asymmetric swarm warfare to overwhelm larger forces with expendable weapons. To paralyze global shipping, Tehran employs thousands of explosive-laden Shahed kamikaze drones, underwater mines, and agile fast attack boats. Here you can see one of those armed vessels actively harassing a massive commercial oil tanker in the open water, a constant threat to the world's energy supply. This chart highlights a mathematical problem. A single Shahed drone costs roughly $30,000, while the standard American SM-2 interceptor cost over $2.1 million. In a sustained engagement, U.S. interceptors will drain to zero before Iran runs out of mass-produced drones. To unseal the strait, a 22-nation coalition launched an operation that abandoned traditional defense. Instead of playing into the attrition trap, they deployed new technologies to change the economic reality of naval combat. That operation is Epic Fury. When the order for combat readiness reaches the fleet, massive U.S. aircraft carriers surge into position, their hulls cutting through the heavy ocean swells to reach the strike zone. The opening salvo is an overwhelming conventional strike. Guided missile destroyers open their vertical launch cells, sending Tomahawk cruise missiles roaring toward targets along the Iranian coast. These missiles are hunting Tehran's primary anti-ship weapons. They are targeting the Noor and Abu Mahdi cruise missiles, weapons capable of striking ships deep in the Gulf, which are kept hidden inside heavily fortified mountain bunkers. To destroy those fortified silos, the Air Force deployed the GBU-72 5K penetrator. Dropped by stealth bombers, like the B-2 Spirit seen here during mid-air refueling, this 5,000-pound bomb uses kinetic energy to punch through 60 meters of earth and rock, collapsing the bunkers from within. Once the long-range threats are gone, the focus shifts to the water. Low-flying A-10 Warthogs and powerful AH-64 Apache attack helicopters begin to rigorously sweep the entire coastline, using 30mm rotary cannons to shred any surviving fast attack boats before they can even launch their own missiles. While the air campaign continues, autonomous systems clear the channel. U.S. GARC speedboats and British robotic mine hunters patrol the waters, using acoustic signatures to safely detect and detonate underwater mines without risking human lives. This conventional bombardment destroys the heavy infrastructure and clears the water. It forces Tehran to play its final card, massive retaliation using their last remaining asymmetric weapon. The response is a synchronized wave of over 100 Shahed drones launched simultaneously from multiple coastal sites and aimed directly at the carrier strike group. But instead of firing their remaining interceptor missiles, the Navy activates a classified countermeasure, Project Meteor. This experimental system is bolted to the deck of a destroyer, waiting for this exact threat. Project Meteor uses gallium nitride semiconductors to generate a highly focused microwave beam. It projects a wide cone to intercept the swarm. Delivering a massive electrical surge, it instantly fries the drone's electronics at light speed, dropping them into the Gulf. This ultimately creates a highly decisive economic victory. An entire drone swarm can be neutralized for the cost of the diesel fuel required to run the destroyer's electrical generators. Project Meteor ensures the Navy can keep its multi-million-dollar missile magazines at 100% capacity. By breaking the math of the swarm, the strike group remains ready for heavy threats even after a massive drone attack. With the skies and waters neutralized, the operation enters its final phase. Tactical ground units are now deployed directly to the coastline to secure the site of the massive bombardment. Elite teams, including specialized K-9 units, conduct precise disembarkation and extraction missions. These units are trained to move through the rubble and chaos to secure high-value targets. These squads operate under strict protocols to apprehend key targets and gather physical intelligence from the destroyed coastal facilities, ensuring that Tehran cannot easily rebuild its launch network. These surgical ground extractions are only possible because of the air and microwave dominance established earlier. With the asymmetric threats neutralized, the teams can operate without the risk of a sudden ambush. In a single operation, the primary mechanisms of the blockade have been stripped away. The mountain silos are now rubble, and the naval leadership responsible for coordinating these tactics has been eliminated. This result was achieved through a trio of specialized technologies: deep penetrating bunker bombs, autonomous mine-clearing robotics, and directed microwave energy. The impact on the global economy was immediate. The Strait of Hormuz has been unsealed, and safe passage for international shipping and energy logistics is returning to normal. The U.S. Navy has inverted the cost curve of conflict by deploying technology that costs pennies to operate against weapons that cost thousands to build. This shift ensures that the carrier group's most expensive defense systems remain ready for high-value targets, rather than being exhausted by a wave of cheap, expendable drones.